Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Just telling you, we're pumping them out one by one. This will be the third movie that I've seen. I think I have like another one on Monday, and then I have one on Friday and then Saturday. So we'll be taking a break after this third one. So we'll have a day off, and then we'll get right back into the reviews. So just letting you guys know. Um, but I just got out of The Woman King. Um, I'll be honest. Uh, I'm not sure why I went to see it. I wasn't really all that excited for it. The trailers were, giving off a lot of feminist type vibes. There was a big, it felt like there was an agenda that was going on with this particular movie. And there certainly is. And yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But um, I'm not sure what made me go see it. Um, I guess I was just slightly curious based on like the setting and what could have been. Um, what I feared The Woman King would be is exactly what it is, which is that it is virtue signaling, females conquer over men, and, like this whole agenda type bullshit that I am just not about at all. Um, before we get into that, though, the things that I will say that I liked briefly is that I think that visually it looks kind of nice. Not like fantastic or anything, but looks nice. And the action scenes, while are super unrealistic, like it's like basically superhero action, um, it was well choreographed. If once you detach that, yeah, this is not realistic at all, and nobody would ever be able to do these sort of things in real life. Like like when you remove that aspect, they're well choreographed, they're fun to watch, but you have to remember that they're like basing it off like true story and such. But and when you think about that, it's like, well, yeah, none of this shit would actually really happen, like people would not be able to flip and do all these crazy stunts. Like it's just impossible. um but the scenes are fun. Towards the end of the movie, like towards the third act or so, um despite the virtue signaling and all the other bullshit that we'll get into in a second, there is some wakefulness that is felt, within this bond with Viola Davis and this girl character. Um, there's a little bit of a heart there, even though there's a load of issues that I will get into in a second. There is something of a weight that's felt, and you do feel kind of emotional, a tiny bit emotional at the end. Um, but the reason why I could not get more emotionally involved and invested is, as I've been saying for the past like 30 minutes now, there is so much fucking virtue signaling in this movie. Like holy shit. Every single scene um has to depict a man as a greasy, pig like, gross figure. There's only one, they portray it through like one dude who's like an actual okay dude. But everyone else is apparently a pig, they're racist, they're this or that, they're slimy. Women don't need men, that's the whole thing about Viola Davis. And while she has a very, I would say a pretty uh good reason for it, why she has this hatred towards men. Um, I hate that she instills these ideas on everybody around her and towards this little girl, because this little girl is making her own choices throughout the entire movie. She's just following her heart, her feelings, and then here comes Viola Davis and saying that, well, this happened to me, and there's something significant about you that I have not yet told you, so I'm gonna say it right now because I'm fucking narcissistic, and I want you to hate men as much as I hate men. Even though you're your own person and you should make your own choices and you should do whatever the hell you feel is appropriate. Um, you know, it's not, like that type of behavior was just like, it was like the downfall for this little girl. Like she's perfectly innocent and she's willing to, to become a warrior. Even though like this whole woman warriors thing, like um it's cool in concept, but in reality, um there's no fucking way that that would work out, because I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm not misogynist. I'm not all this and that. But if you put a man who is, fit and has all the warrior power against a woman with all the warrior power, that man will fucking whoop that female's ass every single time, because a female is not built for um, that kind of thing. Not saying that females can't whoop men's ass. They absolutely can. A woman can whoop my ass any day. But I'm saying if they're on equal footing, they've been through the same training and they have this like the same muscle mass, whatever. That man's gonna whoop that woman's ass every single time. It's just because of their bodies. It's what they're like someone says it in the movie. Why send a woman to do a man's job? And they never answer that question. They never answer that question. They show like some men around like they're all slobs and stuff like that. But that's just because you made it so, Like they also have men like fighting right beside them. Um like as if like they can't be trained too, and they can't, you know, um do these crazy things that the women are doing. Like it's just, it's playing towards a certain kind of agenda and a certain kind of statement, and it really really interfered with my experience with the movie, like almost at every single turn. Um like when it comes to the battle sequences, like they'll get like, take a guess who the villain is. A man. um and Also, all the females are black, so guess what, there's also a commentary about discrimination and such. And it just felt so unnecessary to make it so specific, with this particular agenda and such. Now, discrimination and all that stuff, yeah, it did exist back in the day. It absolutely did. I'm not trying to, start any like political conversations like, oh, this stuff did happen. I know it did. Um, but in terms of how the movie is representing itself, and in terms of how it represents its themes and its ideas, it just feels very ham-fisted, forced, like shoving it down your throat. It doesn't feel like it's a natural element to the story. Like, you know, I just felt like why, um, like I knew it was gonna have that, but I was not prepared for how much of it was gonna have. Um, so so I guess if you're one of these feminists who just believe in like female domination, like dominating over men, and oh, I don't need a man in my life, which is total bullshit. That's just insecurities talking. You know, we're all like creatures. We're social creatures. We're meant to interact with one another. We're meant to, um, we're meant to do what regular animals do, mate and all that sort of stuff. That's just primal instincts. That's what we have instilled in us. So you can't change those feelings. Okay. um, just like the little girl, she was just being a normal person, just following how she feels. She's attracted to this man. She likes this and that. And then here comes this woman over here who instills all these things in her, guilts her, all this shit, and makes her into just another one of them. And she never mentions, by the way, that she hits it with the guy. She ends up having sex with the guy. Doesn't doesn't say that to the mother. Conveniently doesn't say that to the mother. And the mother has a perfect opportunity to apologize to this girl, for all that shit that she said. But instead of apologizing for her about that, she apologizes for something else, further, confirming to me that she is a narcissist. And the movie is portraying her to be like this this like sympathetic hero, which she is to a point. But when you see what she's doing to this little girl, and ultimately to her tribe, and to this whole, uh, culture, it's just very, very, very ignorant. And it's like she's not a good, like, I wouldn't ask her for advice in regards to equality and all that sort of stuff, because she possesses a very, very ignorant mindset. Um, I have huge sympathy for her in regards to what happened to her in her past, but I'm also thinking rationally. I would never go up to her and say, "Well, I want to hear her advice on equality and stuff like that," because obviously I know her answer. So, um, So yeah, so I don't. I really didn't like the. I really didn't. I was really frustrated with the movie. Um, I think that if they just dialed it back of all this virtue signaling and all this like feminist type bullshit, I would have maybe enjoyed it a little bit more. But since it's so much in your face, like every single turn, it's just like, hey, we hate men. Hey, we hate men. Hey, we hate men. Women are stronger. Women are stronger. Women can whoop men's ass. Do this and that. Like it's just constant in your face, and it's just it just gets tiresome, repetitive, really boring really quickly. So, um, like I said, the action's fun, even though it's very unrealistic. Um, and it visually looks nice. Um, I just, I just could not take more. I was considering walking out because of just all this constant uh, statements and agendas being thrown at my face. Like it just did not mesh well with the movie. It just made it very frustrating and very annoying. So, um, yeah. So I don't think I can recommend The Woman King. It's not a terrible movie. Let me just make that clear. It's not a bad movie. It's it's competently well made. Like it's a nicely made movie. Um, it's playing to a more mainstream audience just in terms of its structure and all that. Um, but it's just it's a utilization of themes and messaging and just how much it just pushes certain agendas and certain statements, and like creating like a lot of hypocrisies and ignorance in the film. Like it doesn't empower the narrative, and it doesn't really strike a certain idea. It just kind of goes against itself in certain aspects, and again creates hypocrisies and all sorts of other things when you really start to think about the messaging of the movie and how it portrays certain ideas. Like I said, Viola Davis is a narcissist in this movie. She's not she's not a great character. She's been through some shit, and it sucks for her character, but it does not make her like it. Again, I would not talk to her in terms of equality and all this sort of stuff, because she's gonna lean to one particular side, obviously. So, um, because she possesses a certain ignorance and a bias. So, and it's just not, you know, it's just not like, what I'm trying to say. Because I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point. So, but yeah, I didn't really like it. It was very frustrating to sit through. Um, I just could not handle all that bullshit with the feminist type shit that they're representing in the movie. It's the type of feminism that I just cannot get behind. It's okay. It's equality. Okay, men and women on like equals. Not females dominating men or this and that. Okay, because I'm sorry, there are some things that men can do better than women, and there's things that women can do better than men, and that's just how it is because of our genetics, or because of our bodies. We have certain traits and certain abilities that women don't have, and vice versa. Okay, women can have babies, women can breastfeed, they can do this and that. Men can't do that. So it's just, but that's not what the movie wants to present. It wants to present that, oh, women are this, we're always this, we don't need men in our lives. It's just like, fuck out of here. So like I said, if you're one of those types of feminists, you're probably gonna love this movie. I'm surprised this movie has like really great reviews. um it just plays pretty typical, like how the movie's gonna play out, but also like narratively speaking, it's super predictable to follow. um but besides some good action and some visuals, I just don't think I can recommend it to anybody else. Yeah, I'd say just pass on it. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on The Woman King. Didn't really like it. Really didn't like the messaging and the utilization of the messaging, all the virtue signaling and all that shit. But you guys, let me know. Did you guys like The Woman King, or did you guys like me, where we're just frustrated by just the way they utilize their messages and how they presented it and all that? You guys let me know in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Just to be clear, I'm not misogynist. I'm not a pig. I'm not all that kind of stuff, okay? I have a wide variety of friends, okay? Females, this and that, okay? So don't start with me on that, okay? I respect women. I absolutely do. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video.